The wind cut through the frontier town like a blade. Snow fell in slow, merciless sheets, settling on the wooden boardwalks of Red Hollow, a place where mercy had long since frozen to death. People gathered in the square, boots stomping for warmth, breath fogging the air. No one spoke kindly here, not anymore. At the center stood Mary Caldwell. Her hands trembled as she pulled her shawl tighter, though it did little to shield her from the cold or the stares. 7 children clung to her skirts, coats too thin, eyes too old for their ages. They were silent, not because they were well behaved, but because hunger teaches children when not to cry. Mary was a widow. Her husband had died 3 weeks earlier in a mining collapse up north. The company paid nothing. The land they rented was seized, and now, with winter tightening its grip, the town council had ordered an auction. Not of land, not of cattle, of people. Families were redistributed on the frontier when survival demanded cruelty. Children sent to farms, mothers taken as labor, brothers and sisters split apart like spare tools. Mary knew what was coming, and she knew she couldn't stop it. The judgment of the frontier. The auctioneer cleared his throat, voice sharp as ice. "Widow Caldwell," he announced, "with 7 dependents, no property, no income. Bidding begins." The crowd shifted. A man raised a hand. "I'll take the 2 older boys, need strong backs." Another voice followed. "The girl with the red hair, she'll do for the kitchen." Mary gasped, pulling her children closer. "No, please, keep them together," she begged. The auctioneer didn't look at her. "That's not how the frontier works, ma'am." Tears streaked down Mary's face as her youngest, Samuel, buried his head against her coat. Then the bidding stopped, not because of mercy, but because of doubt. 7 children were too many, too expensive, too much trouble. Murmurs spread. "No one wants the woman with all of them. She's ruined. Winter'll finish them off anyway." Mary felt her legs weaken. She closed her eyes, bracing herself for the moment her children would be torn from her arms. That was when the sound came. Boots. Slow, heavy, purposeful. The mountain cowboy. He stood at the edge of the crowd, dusted with snow, hat pulled low over weathered eyes. A long coat hung from broad shoulders, worn but well kept. A rifle rested against his back, and his gloves bore the scars of hard labor and harder fights. They called him Elias Crow, a mountain cowboy, a man who lived where maps ended, a man rumored to speak more to horses than to people. He hadn't planned to stop in Red Hollow. He rarely entered towns at all. But his horse had gone lame, and winter forced choices even the strongest men couldn't avoid. Elias watched the scene unfold with a tightening jaw. He'd seen hunger before. He'd buried family in the snow, and he'd learned one truth of the frontier. Survival meant choosing who you refused to abandon. The auctioneer scoffed. "Anyone else?" Elias stepped forward. "I'll take her." A ripple of surprise passed through the crowd. "And the children," Elias added calmly. "All 7.